Hello children, I am your moral science teacher and the first chapter which I am going to teach is One God for All. I have been assigned the duty to teach you a science which will morally back you, morally give you strength to march ahead in life. So, we are going to know that there is one God for all. Knowing about God is also an explorable subject for me. I too am exploring it because I am not too much aware what who God is, because I am also in search of God. I also want to ask a lot of questions to God. So, from childhood till date, and now I am going to teach you. The topic of the chapter is One God for All. God, I believe God is a superpower which leads you, which guides you to do something creative, to do something God. When you experience something good you are doing, with something good you are going to do, it is the deed of God which has made you to do. When you sympathize, when you feel, when you sympathize with someone, when you do kindness, when you respect someone, when you love your parents, when you love your brothers and sisters, it is God who is residing in you and making you to do good things. In this chapter we are going to learn that education should not only give you knowledge from the book, education should enable you to connect with God. And to connect with God, prayer is very essential. This chapter will teach you that to connect with God and to become successful, first you have to be constructive. When you will be successful, then only you can contribute in the development of the nation. And it is the duty of the teacher, it is the duty of the institution to impart you the wisdom of God and wisdom of human being. It is the duty of the institution to guide you and to connect you with God so that you can do good and you can in return make people to do good. This chapter basically will guide you that goodness is always rewarded and good deeds are guided by God. And believe me or not, you must have also experienced, and I have also experienced, that in our troubles, first thing we do is we remember God. No one can. We know that God will protect us and will take out from that surrounding, take out us from that trouble. It is God only. It is only God who can do that. But neither you have seen God, neither I have seen God. We do not know what God is in which form. If you are Hindu, you can see that God will be in the shape of Krishna. And I must be seeing that God is having a long beard and wearing a turban. For me, God is that. But God is, when you go through the pages of moral science or this chapter, you will know that something supreme power is there, something supreme energy is there, which makes everything happen, which runs all these functional processes in nature, whether the rotation of the earth, the rising of the sun, whether the coming of life in a fetus, or whether the death of a person. It is all the action of God. So come, we will know what are the contents of this chapter, and what we'll just unravel, and we'll try to explore, and we'll try to know that what is God and how God can help us to become a good and better person. This chapter is about knowing God and about submitting ourselves to God. So children, let us begin with chapter 1, wasting no time. So be attentive, and this subject is listening attentively, related to listening attentively. So let us begin. One God for all. Open page number 4. Once I met a group of students who were on a tour. So the author or the writer of this chapter, he or she says that once I met a group of students who were on a tour. Basically, it must be a railway journey As per the picture it shows it's railway. So I think the students must be on the tour. So the author met them. It was a happy and joyous group, spending the days in the train in singing songs and playing games together. So especially when you go with your family or with your friends in train journey, train trips, it is very interesting, isn't it? And you spend the time in singing. But nowadays people are too much engrossed in mobiles and books. Basically one activity which I have observed since childhood while traveling in train is people are engrossed in reading papers or magazines. And nowadays people are much more absorbed in watching. When they have their mobiles, no one talks to each other. All just have their earphones plugged into their ears and they have the mobile. And that is why the train has also, the electrification of train has also changed, because nowadays you can have charging pins, you have charging plugs in the train seats and all. Earlier it was not there. So the authorities are also aware that people are using a lot of mobile for that reason. So I was so delighted and became one among them for a day. So this person told I was very happy. I watched the children enjoying and I also indulged in them. I also became a part of them. So while we were sharing our ideas, I asked them a question. What do you study in your school? So the person he asked, just out of curiosity, asked, what do you study in your school? They replied, English. When they just little children, they are innocent. They don't understand the intention or motive behind the question. So as this one they just went on to reply that it is Hindi, English, maths, and social studies, and so on, general science and everything. Then I asked another question. What do you mean by studies? So the author, he asked, what do you mean by studies? Studying is not just opening the book and going through it. Is studies. What is the meaning of studies? Hearing my question, they sat in silence. Then I asked again, what do you mean by the purpose of education? He or she, here a man's picture is there. So he asked again, what is the purpose of education? What do you learn? Basically you come to learn to add 2 plus 3 is equal to how much? Or you come to learn, just imagine that among all these subjects, you are having science. Basically a child gives first preference to maths, then to science, then social studies, then English and Hindi, all these subjects. And moral science, because it carries 50 marks, and moral science is least valued. But why this subject moral science is introduced in your curriculum? Because science together with morality makes a person to get respect and success in society. He understands, by reading moral science, he understands that why he is different than other animals. Why human being is different from other animals. But the current scenario, situation of the society depicts that we are again becoming inhuman. The atrocities against women are rising. You must be watching in television, in news. Those who are not watching, it's my strict advice to you that please do watch a bulletin of news. It is very, very essential. So, what do you mean by education? One girl who was sitting on the corner said to me, Sir, the purpose of education is to impart wisdom to the students and thereby prepare them to be good citizens and builders of prosperous nation. Very well said and well defined. She told that education makes a person to build a society. A person who is indulged, a person who is absorbed in education, first build his own career. First, he is always positive. He never thinks about negative things, never thinks about destroying anything. He is always creative. And if he builds for himself, then he contributes for the nation. Prosperous nation. Again I queried. Queried means asked. What is the meaning of the wisdom? So, one of the child replied, wisdom is that helps us to know and understand something. Wisdom is our capacity. It is our capability to know something and understand about it. Wisdom, understanding something. Wisdom is of 2 types. namely wisdom of God and wisdom of man. So beautiful answer by the child is it's the wisdom of God. One is to know God and one is to know a man. Wisdom is to know a man. But this time we reached Nagpur station and all went out to get snacks and water from the platform vendors. So everybody went a station. It's a very beautiful scene that when you reach a station and then what happens is that you have to get it down and get snacks, hot piping snacks, tea and water and all. It's very nice to get down to a station when you are on a long journey. So though they went, the answer they shared with me struck my mind as a flash of light. The person he said, the children went away, but the answers what the children gave, it was just circulating in his memory, in his mind. Flash of light. Though it was not fully clear, he expressed the real meaning of education by those words. Real education should impart the wisdom of God and the wisdom of man. Real education is what? It should impart the wisdom. It should impart the wisdom of God and wisdom of man. Education, it's not just you are coming to school and just open the book and we are teaching you, okay, 2 plus 3 is 5 and we are teaching you, okay, the lava comes out in this volcano. No, it's not like that. Education is, it is to make you, to put you in a right way. Just imagine if I'll see you talking harshly to your parents. As a teacher, this is my duty to stop you. You cannot speak harshly to anyone because they look after you, they provide you everything you require. And you have to speak them politely. Your behavior should be polite. Your words should be polite. You should behave decently. Not only to your parents, to your grandparents, to the old and disabled, to your teachers, even to unknown persons around you, to your servants, to the vendors, to the persons who supply things to your house. You have to speak them decently because you are in one of the bestest school of your locality. And after studying in such a big school, if you speak harshly and inhumanly, it is not good of you. So, real education should impart wisdom of God and wisdom of man. If a system of education is unable to impart the wisdom of knowledge about God to students, that system of education is futile. If now we are teaching you all the subjects, the modern technology is computer, you are having it. We are teaching science, the reason for everything behind all activities, you are reading it. The calculations of you are reading the calculations of the complicated things in mathematics, it is done. But how much you are taught about God, how much you are taught to respect to your elders, how much you are taught to behave in the society, what do you know about God? It is very rare that very less children, they just get up, pray and come to school. So, the system of education is futile, means worthless. Futile means worthless, useless. If it is unable to generate the builder of a nation or unable to produce proper citizens to the nation, such an education is away from its ideals. Now I'll tell you, there are many terrorist outfits. Everywhere in the world, there are various kinds of terrorist organizations. It is not like that all the uneducated, all the useless and all the poor people become terrorists. No. In the organizations you can find engineers. You can find that engineers are making bombs. You can find doctors. You can find highly educated philosophers. Very much. They are much more knowledgeous people who are the scholarly people who just induct themselves in these terrorist organizations. But their education is futile. They are educated to destroy mankind. They are educated to destroy the society. That education is futile. And education is worthy when you do something good for humanity or something good for the nation, something good for the world. So, such an educational system is unable to share happiness and peace among its pupils. So the education system will not connect you with God. Finally, the schools are making you a good person. They are making you able and capable to deal with the society and to deal with the complications of life. But finally, if the school or the education system is not connecting you with God, why? To make you a good person. All your creativity, the education is like fitting apps in a mobile phone, like fitting systems in a car. When the teachers are equipping you, when they are making you, getting you ready to face the world, to grow up in career, to build a nation. But the main duty is when of the teacher is to connect you with God. When you are connected with God, then all your activities will go on in a positive channel. You will think everything positively. Got it? Did you get it? So, connection of God is basically to make your all activity in the right way. For that reason, you have to be connected with God. Whether you are Hindu, whether you get connected to Shiva, Krishna, goddesses Lakshmi, or whether goddess Durga. You are Christian, you get connected with Jesus. Whether you are Muslim, you are connected with Allah. Whether you are Sikh, you are connected with Guru Nanak, or whether you are connected with Vaheguru. But your activities should channelize in a proper way. To get it channelized, to get it worked in a good way, you need to be connected with God, your God. Okay. So, if a system of education is unable to impart the wisdom of knowledge about God to its students, the system of education is futile. If it is unable to generate the builders of a nation and unable to produce proper citizens to the nation, such an education is always from its ideals. I told you, just now, just in school we are coming among all the students, we don't know. We are having 2,000 or 3,000 students in our school. We are teaching them everyone. Today we have many doctors who are our school students. Our school students have grown to become engineers. They have grown to become IPS, IAS officers. Our school students have even gone to become Rajya Sabha members. Our school is just contributing to the development of the nations. But just imagine a child is becoming a scholar, an engineer, and just joining a terrorist outfit, and daily he is killing people. Daily he is creating destruction. The bombs are thrown on cities. Cities are devastated, and just playing havoc and killing and bloodshed. Then that education is futile. That education is destructive to the mankind. So, such an educational system is unable to share happiness and peace among its people. Many schools are there. The other day I was watching television. I saw that some schools are there in Kashmir. The students of their schools are not one. Sometimes you can tell if one has joined the terrorist outfit, then it is by accident or it is the person's, he has got out of track. But not one, not two, not three. Tens of students have joined the terrorist outfits. Their schools are under scanners. That means they are contributing to the destruction of our nation. Such education should be stopped. Such education imparting institutions should be stopped. So, peaceful society, knowledge about God, an underlying factor. So in order to build up a peaceful society, knowledge about God. So, finally, no matter, even you will see a doctor who is saving a life, first before entering the clinic or before entering his hospital, he bows down before God and then he enters his work. So for anything, no matter how able, how capable, how skilled you are at your profession, how skilled, how rich, how well equipped you are, but a connection from the Almighty or from the God is utmost requirement. You need to be connected with God to make everything correct. Just imagine, we are having all of you must have experienced, your parents must have experienced, that when we are in a trouble and when we see no way out of it, finally the only destination is we just come and go down before God and we leave everything on God, and that phase or that time passes. God, He blesses us, and that difficulty, no one has seen God. No one, my knowledge says we have never met God, but we all believe in the supreme power. That something is there, something is controlling us, something is there which holds our hand and takes us out of difficulties to happiness, and that power is God. So, the term God creates a lot of ideas and thoughts among the students. When we think of God, then as we are born in different castes, we are born in different families and communities, we think. So for a Christian child, God means Jesus, with little long beard, with long hairs, with a cloak type of outfit. But for me, the same God is with long beard, with a turban. For that only, then for a Hindu, it is a Krishna holding a flute and standing among the cows. Or it is Lord Shiva with his destructive appearance that anything bad he will destroy. Lord Shiva will destroy every badness. So you perceive or you imagine God as per your perception. What you have seen from childhood, you imagine your God in such a way. The term God creates a lot of ideas and thoughts among the students. If we ask a question, who is our God, we get different names from different columns. Obviously, we get different names. Some call him Allah, others Yahweh. Yahweh is also people of certain section. They address God as Yahweh. Some others call him Parameshwar, etc. All these names are true, but share only a part of one of the same God. It's not just God. When we say God means it is just total God. When we say Krishna means God is not totally Krishna. When it's not on the idol, stone idol, God is not there. God is a big superpower, big power. You cannot imagine even. We just think that when we have faced small difficulties and when we are out of the difficulties, we think that God is there. But just imagine, God has done miracles, the big miracles. Some people are on the verge of deathbed, but still that life. Some of them are on the verge of deathbed and they get life. That miracle no one can do. Only God can do. So it is like that. God but shares only a part of one of the same God. He is the one, the supreme power, who created the whole universe. He creates the birds, animals, trees and plants and beautiful flowers. Just imagine that this earth, the beautiful creation, a beautiful human being, a new life, flowers so blooming, so beautifully, nature, Mother Earth, the water, the beauty of water, sea. You see just when you see through television and your mobile phones, the picturesque beauty of nature. No one can do it. It is only the creation of God. And it is not the capacity of any person or anyone other than God to make such wonderful and beautiful creation. And the sweet fruits, the twinkling stars, the bright sun, and the amazing planet are His creation. Just imagine the sun, the asteroids, how the planets are just rotating, revolving. All this mechanism, who can plan? Is there any person capable to do all this thing? Is there any power? No. It's only God. We don't know, but some power which is superior and supreme, who is just maintaining all this in order. See, the planets are beautifully embedded. Mars does not come and crash with Venus. Earth does not go to meet Uranus and, hi sister, how are you? Nothing. Everything is divine. The process, the life cycle, the water cycle, the food chain, and all the processes of natural process of maintaining the earth and maintaining the natural processes is maintained by God. The vast rivers, the deep oceans and the rocky mountains proclaim the sovereign power of God. Sovereign means no one is above God. It is the total power of God. Man is the supreme creation of God. We cannot see him with our eyes. True. Man is the supreme creation of God. Just if you go to think in depth, just God. Man is the supreme creation of God, but we cannot see him with our eyes. No one has seen God. Though we claim, some priests and some sadhus and all, they go on to claim and to cheat and to foolish people that I am the incarnation of God, I have God, I am the agent of God. Nothing. God is what? Which you can feel by closed eyes and a peaceful mind. You just sit in one place, close your eyes peacefully and feel, and you can feel that some power is there, and that is God. And you have to imagine, you have to give God your own figure. You should not depend that God will be looking like this, like that. No, what my friend told me, God must be looking like that. What my madam told me, no. You can feel, if you just sit and just, you can sit peacefully, you can feel God. God is like that. With our eyes, He is unseen spirit present in the world. Man is the supreme creation of God, but He is everywhere. Everywhere He is there. That is why never lie, never cheat, never cause pain to anyone, because God is everywhere and God is seen. That is fact. And God always gives you tit for tat. If you do good, you will get good. It is fact thing that when you will find ample of examples around you, you talk about this matter with your parents, and they will give you umpteen of examples that if you do good, you will find good. If you do good, you will get good. But if you do bad, certainly you will be paid back. Certainly. And that goodness and badness is that world is maintained. Some goodness is there. Or else if everyone will get selfish, world will finish. So this world today is maintained with people who do good. And that is why God is everywhere, and be cautious. That is why don't do anything bad, so that God will keep an account of that bad things. So, everywhere. He is present in the dust and in the air of this earth. He is present within us. I told you, just close your eyes and sit silently, peacefully, and you can feel God. When you feel, when just imagine you are sitting, and when you see an old lady or an old person, just painfully and pathetically, they are having some trouble, and when you feel that trouble, feel that God is with you. And when you cause disturbance, when you cause pain to others, that means you are doing sin. So don't do that. So God, when He is present, and we will experience Him within ourselves, within us. So we need not search Him anywhere. We have to turn to ourselves, and we will experience Him within ourselves. Every religion teaches us this system of teaches us this experience. Every religion imparts and shares this experience of God. No religion says that pick up the sword and go and kill others. No religion says that we will be superior and other religions are inferior. No. All religions, just watch. I have a habit of watching the renditions and watching the prophecies of people, whether it belongs to any religion. One morning when you get up and then you watch television, you will see that people speak out the prophecies of various religions. When the scholarly people they speak about the religions, you will see that one thing is common. No one says that don't hate him. No one says that hate him. Every religion, whether it's a Christian, the person who speaks about Christianity, whether he speaks about Islam or anyone, the words are very similar. They just say you that be united, God is there, God is watching everything, do good, do good, do good. Then from where all this destruction is coming, from where all this bloodshed is coming, from where all this selfish motive, they overpower the society, this needs to be given a thought. So, every religion teaches us this system of teaches us this experience. Every religion imparts and shares this experience of God. So, a system of education or knowledge that keeps us away from the wisdom of God is futile. Again, the same thing. The education or the system, which tells you that don't believe in God, don't just you believe in science, just you believe in calculation, mathematics. God is nothing. Your power is mean. God will, if you are dying, God will not come to save you. If you are having a heart problem, God will not come to do your open heart surgery. It is the man who will do. Wrong. The man who is doing your surgery is guided by God. So, one or the other way, you are related with God. The person you are related to is related with God. So a system of education and knowledge that keeps you away from the wisdom of God is futile. So, the education which takes you away from God is worthless, futile, useless. It becomes meaningless. In order to find this God experience with oneself, one should become a man of prayer. So, prayer is the connection of a person with God. Prayer means request. Prayer means request to the Supreme Power, what you are telling. It is the talk with a person and God. It is not needed the prayer you have to respect our God and my dear friends, today I am going to tell before you that my problem is this and that. Silently you sit and just close your eyes, fold your hands and you speak your heart out within and God will hear that. No need to speak also. God reads your mind. God knows what is going on in your mind. God knows that. And that your that problem or your that difficulty is read by God. And that is prayer. A true education prepares the ground in man to grow to be a true believer. And once you believe that you have to do good, you have to believe in God, then ground in man and grow to be a true believer. Then a true education prepares the ground in man. So education tells the man, believe in God. And if you believe in God, you will indulge in creativity. You will keep yourself away from destruction. You will become a person of goodness, speaking humbly, politely, and doing good deeds. And that means your education has connected you with God, and your education is worthy. You have got a good education. That means the institution has imparted a good education. Your teachers have imparted a good valued education to you. Moral of the story: a true education system should make the students to find God. A true education system makes you to connect to God. To remember, it says they say saying here, one sage, probably I have read somewhere, it is in Hindi, I don't remember exactly. I walked endlessly in search of God. He was not there. He was not here. He was not even there in the wilderness. I searched him in every nook and corner, but I found my search was in vain. At last, I turned to myself that I found God. So, searching God is not that you sit in a ship and you will go to Antarctica and God must be here. Or going to Himalayas, Mansarovar and God must be sitting here. This is Lord Shiva's place, God will come. God, come here. Come. And when you do good deed, God is within you. And when you are on the path of bad things, that means God has left you. So to search God, you have to do good things. God is within us. You need to search it. You need to be guided by God. And finally, you as a person and you as a student of such a nice institution should be known for your goodness. I hope you understood the chapter. In the next class, I will be sending you the solved exercise.